Okay, I think we are good. I think we are good. Ah, okay, sorry, I'm just staring into space here while I try and get the YouTube thing sorted, but that is fine. It is good. Hi everyone, I am in the room. I hope you are well. Hi, Nicola from the UK, where it's 3 p.m. Welcome. I hope it is a lovely 3 p.m. for you. Snowy Boston, Jessica. Gosh, we've got drizzly DC here. Hi, David. What's my YouTube channel? It is my name, Abigail K. Although here I'm Abigail Louise. That's my second name. Abigail K, the never-ending novice. And that's where all the recordings of these live sessions go. Oh, I can hear my heating going on. I don't know if you can hear that. And while I think about audio, I'm also going to just put on some music. So, hi Shan from London. Yay, lots of UK people today. Fantastic. Good to have you here. I do love the UK. So we are going to be doing some mindful doodling today. I hope that you have your drawing tools with you, whether that is scrap sheets of paper or a notebook or a journal, whatever it is that you're going to be drawing on, and then whatever it is that you're going to be drawing with. I will be drawing with my iPad and my Apple Pencil, so if you want to do digital as well, you're most welcome to do that. So get all of your equipment with you. And let's settle in for a lovely 90 minutes of, just some mindful doodling. It's essentially active meditation. That's the way that I look at it, because it is practicing concentration, drawing your focus, drawing your attention to the activity at hand. It's also flexing your creativity muscle. So whether you consider yourself creative or not, I assure you, you are flexing your creativity muscle. And ultimately, it's just a lovely way of self-expression and giving yourself a pocket of peace, a nice 90-minute pocket of peace. Shan, you've not had a reason to use my Apple Pencil until today. Fantastic. I am very happy for you. This has literally, I feel, changed my life, getting into this doodling practice. It has just brought so much richness to day, and the creativity from this mindful art practice has spilled over into other areas of day-to-day life. Specifically art journaling. I use the practice, the mind-body connection practice in my hobby is illustration. And also, most significantly, I have noticed that it has helped me with stopping multitasking. So being present with what it is that I'm doing in this moment right here, right now. And the more I do this doodle art, mindful art practice, the more I find I'm able to focus. And I did recently realize that I have what I perceive many of the ADHD tendencies, and this has kind of quieted that distraction of everything else going on. So I invite you to turn off notifications, put your phone and devices into focus mode, let's have a nice session together where we can be creative. I'm going to just turn on the music so that we've got that in the background, because that is always lovely. Tell me if you can hear that. Oh, hitting my mic. 1 second. Tell me if you can hear that. If it's too loud or too soft. Oh, the song is just finishing. There we go. Okay, so let's start off this session. As I always like to do, I like to draw a card just to give us a general focus and intention for this session. So as you get settled in, get comfy, get all of your things, take a couple of deep breaths, and let's draw a card. This is from my favorite deck, Wellbeing Wisdom cards, that I received from a friend many years ago. And here we go, vision. This is very apt. I feel like every time I draw a card for these sessions, the card that I draw is very apt. So vision is the card, and it says, I know that without a vision for my life, life will just happen to me. I therefore create time to create a dynamic vision for all areas of my life: work, love, play, finances, health, etc., and revisit and update this vision periodically. Well, if that isn't a powerful and profound invitation, I don't know what is. So let us hold the vision of our purpose, our intentions, our desires in our mind while we do our doodling this morning. And I'm going to keep the card on the table to keep reminding us. Tell me if the music is too loud. Hi, Florky, good to see you here from Hungary in the afternoon there, obviously, as well. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so getting your drawing tools in front of you. Today's exercise or practice is inspired by a drawing that I saw earlier this week, and it feels very reminiscent of something certainly that I did when I was a child at school, and I'm sure it will be the same for you. We're going to draw the outline of our hand. So let me change angle here. There we go. You should be able to see what I'm drawing here and get me out of the way. And there's our card. There we go. So today I'm actually going to draw on a vertical page. So if you have a notebook or an A4 page, let's have it in the vertical orientation as opposed to the horizontal. And today we're going to outline our hand, and we're going to use the doodles to fill in the interior of our hand. So we're also going to use the outlining of our hand as our initial breathing exercise that I always like to do with these sessions. So grab your piece of paper or your notebook, place your hand on your page. Hopefully your page is big enough to do this. If it's not, then just draw, hand draw a version of a hand. Okay. And then with every upstroke, we're going to take a deep breath in, and then with every downstroke, we're going to take a breath out. So in and out. So it's obviously going to be a short. We've only got 5 deep breaths, so make them count. Oh, I've got to change my pen color. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, Okay. It is not perfect. We are not creating masterpieces here. We are simply practicing. If you want to, you can go over your outlines to thicken them up. I feel like I want to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. So either with a thicker pen or just with the same pen, retracing, and you can redo your breaths in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because we're going to be filling the outside space as well as the inside space with some doodles. If you want to, you can go ahead and add a border. Take a deep breath and then draw a border along the edges of your page. Doesn't need to be perfect. Turn your page if you need to. Okay. And we're actually going to start on the outside of the hand. And where normally I have the use or make use of my wheel to help us decide which pattern to, or which design to use, on this one in particular, we're going to kind of standardize the outside pattern. And what it is simply a curved line. So you might not be able to see this. I'm going to zoom in here so that you can see. You can see that my lines are not terribly neat, and that's okay. You can start wherever you want, but we're going to draw lines like this, like waves, almost like representation of sound waves. So it's kind of straight in the middle and then kind of curved on the edges. Doesn't need to be perfect, but as the gap gets bigger, you can see that the waves get wider. Until eventually there will be a point at which the wave comes from the edge of the page, curving at both sides, and meeting the edge of your line. And then when you reach the point at which your drawing line no longer obscures your wave line, you're going to carry on to the point at which it bumps up against another border. These can be as far apart as you like. And then where you have missed gaps, you're going to come in and fill that in. So imagine it's like a ripple, like you've just put your hand in a basin of water and you're drawing the ripples. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. Notice how tightly you're holding your pen or pencil. And if you feel called to at any point after this session, you can trace over these lines with thicker pen if you need to, or color them in if you want to. And depending on how much time we have, we'll see if we get to that together. If not, the invitation stands for you to complete it. Notice how you're holding your body. Are you holding tension anywhere? Your neck, your shoulders, your back. What's your other hand doing while your drawing hand is busy? How are you breathing? Where is your mind going while you're doing this repetitive move? Just notice, no judgment. What expression do you have on your face? I notice that I often pinch my lips while I'm drawing. Relax your forehead. Okay, and when you're done, it should look something like this, kind of like you've put your hand into like a bowl of marshmallow goo or something thereabout. And as I said, the invitation stands for you to go over these lines, make them thicker, maybe fill in more lines if you want to, maybe you want to color them in. If we don't get to it together during the session. What does it look like to you? For me, it's the squishy substance. What comes to mind for you? Is it ripples? Is it sound? Is it a pillow? What is your hand pressing into? Engage your imagination. Okay. So now we'll move on to the filling of the hand. And this is where we do bring in our wheel to help us with our designs. So I have a reference sheet of doodles. Let me just show you. And if you want to access this, just send me a direct message and I'll tell you where you can download this from if you want to have it printed out at home and next to you, because we use this in every session. So you can see we've got 3 columns, we've got 17 rows, and each row, each space has a different design. So our little wheel is going to tell us which one we're going to be drawing. Oh, and now it's stopped my music. Okay, so row 4 and column B. Row 4, column B. Row 4, column B. Oh, that's a good one. This one is very soothing. So this, I kind of imagine being like sand dunes or skin cells, and it's a very apt one to be filling a space in our hand. What we need to do first of all, though, is decide up front how many different spaces we're going to create in our hand. So how many different designs are we going to fill in our hand shape? Apparently we're doing 7. Okay, so we're going to separate our hand into 7 different spaces. You can decide how you want that to look. If you want it diagonal, if you want it vertical, if you want it horizontal, it's completely up to you. So draw some lines across, and they can and they should overlap or intersect so that we can create 7 different spaces. So I'm going to start here. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've got more. Oh, well. I didn't do the math on that one. Why are we not playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to join that up. So it'll be 6 and then 7. Okay, and so with that design in mind, let me get it up for you. Let's have our reference sheet. Here we go. There it is. That's the design that we're doing. This one right here. Okay. So I'm going to start here. In fact, I'm going to make use of my mistake spaces here. So for this design, you're going to create some bolder, bigger lines, so you can already go ahead and subdivide the space that you're going to work with. And I just take it from kind of opposite edges of the border, almost like they're overlapping. And then decide where you want to begin with the internal lines. And the trick with this one is that essentially the lines converge either in one or two corners of your shape, the container that you are drawing in. So I'll start this one here. And I'm going to have them all converging at the bottom corner of this particular shape. They don't need to be straight. In fact, the looser they are, the more organic the design looks. And then in your next designated area, choose a different corner to have the lines converging. And in that way, it starts to create the effect of different segments. Following the shape of at least one side of the container. Notice your breathing. Okay, I think I might continue this one here. There we go. Jessica, you're saying wow. Are you surprised by how the shape comes together? So that's how mine came out. Based on the shape that I had there. And that's what I love about this, is that it can seem like such a like a non-event of a line, and yet when it comes together, it creates something rather soothing to look at. Almost like a shading. Okay. So that's our first of 7 designs. Should we see what the next one is? Let me know if you're ready. Just give me a yes in the comments. Thank you, Chanel. Great. Okay, let's get the next design going. Let us see, of our 17. Oh, I don't like that it stops my music when I have to do this. Okay, so row 6 and column. No, sorry, wrong wheel. Column. C. 6C. So having a look here. 6C is this one here. That's a lovely one. So we're starting with petals, concentric petals in the middle that come out, kind of like the petals are drifting away on the wind, and then we're going to fill the negative space with orbs, little circles, varying in size from smaller to bigger. Okay, we got that. Just put my music back on. Okay, so decide where you're going to have this design, which space, and let's start. Remember to breathe. Loosen the grip on your pencil, your pen. Relax your other hand. Relax your shoulders. Okay, and what we've also got with each of these petals is a central line and 2 dots. Hi, Sammy. Good to have you here. If you come up against the edge, you can make as if the petals are going beyond the border of your container. Or you can squish your petals up against the container, completely up to you. Maybe remember your vision. Think about your vision. Give that some contemplation. Okay, and once you've got all of your petals in place, you can start with filling the negative space with little orbs. Obviously, the smaller your orbs, the more you will need, but it's completely up to you how big or how small you want to make them. Really fall into relaxing your body. Let your limbs become heavy. Breathe. Hey Sammy, I hope that your art practice will be consistent too. It really is a lovely way to help you manage everything else that's going on when you give yourself the time. It's a gift. It's a little break for your brain and your body. Sammy, do you have like a place where people can send you art? I think you mentioned it once. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, that facility is not available on the Insight Timer app. And so if you want to join the rest of us in sharing what we create, we do that over in Substack. So you can just send me a message and I'll send you the link. Doing these little orbs is also a great opportunity to kind of become a witness to your hand, like watching your hand create these repetitive shapes. It's almost mesmerizing. Try and loosen your hands while you're doing this. Don't need to press so hard. I see you, Flurky, you're talking about the pronunciation of your name. I apologize if I've been saying it wrong. I read it like an Afrikaans word coming from South Africa. That TJI sound is like a key to us. So I was saying floorkie, floorkie. But you're saying it's like floor and the TJI you pronounce like the two first letters of Jesus. So floorgie, floorgie. Hi Sandra. What is the name of the app that I'm using for drawing? It is Procreate on the iPad. Suggestions for other digital drawing apps. Somebody last week was saying that they're using Freeform, which is a free app on iPads and works just as well. I particularly enjoy the digital art because it means that all my journals, my art journals, are all in one place. I like the minimalist aspect of it. I also use GoodNotes as an app. That's what I do my daily art journaling in. And when I do these doodles, I include the final doodle in that day's art journal entry because it's part of my day and I reflect on how did I invest my time today, and this is most assuredly an investment because your brain is processing all the adulting things while you're doing this. You may not realize it or think that you are. I believe it's called diffused thinking. When you give yourself a brain from focused attention on your adulting stuff, you focus on something completely inane, but your brain continues to process what you have been inputting. That's why you come up with so many good ideas in the shower, because you're focused on something completely different, and then all of a sudden you get a great spark of inspiration. This is essentially similar to that. Diffused thinking. And your brain needs it. And when we're too busy multitasking all the time, we never give ourselves, or we never give our brains that essential time to digest what we're putting into it. So if you think this is a waste of time, I guarantee you it isn't. Your brain is doing what it needs to do, and it's thanking you for giving it the time it needs to process. It's like when you eat a meal, you know, you need time for it to digest, for your food to digest. It doesn't automatically just get to the parts of the body that is where it's needed, where the fuel is needed. It needs time to digest first. It's the same with your brain and information. So if you're thinking this isn't a productive use of time, I hope that, or I invite you to consider that perhaps it is. And that's also why it's important to be paying attention to what pops up in your mind while you are doing this, because that's where inspiration might strike. And what you could also do while you're doing this is ask your brain to come up with solutions. If you're grappling with a challenge and looking for an answer, set the intention that these doodling sessions is where you put in your request to your brain to find the solution. Say, hey buddy, we need to sort this thing out. Get cracking while I do this. Remember to breathe, take a deep breath if you've been holding your, or taking shallow breaths. Check your posture. Release any tension that you notice in your body right now. It's incredible how often we start to hold our bodies tighter and tighter as we're going. Bring mindfulness back to the sensations in your body and release them. Release any tightness. If you have finished your design, this section, and you feel called to continue filling your other one another space, please go ahead, or just sit back and enjoy the music. Close your eyes and breathe. Notice your breath. We're all going at our own pace. And if we move on to a new design, but you're not yet finished, the invitation stands for you to complete it in either now or after the session. Okay. Believe I have completed mine. How is yours going? So that's 2 of 7. And I am going to spin the wheel for the next design. The music will stop. Column A and row 14. A14, zigzags, or what's the word? Can't think of the word of these. Like road signs. Okay? Somebody, if you know what word I'm trying to access, please let me know in the comments. Chevron. Okay, we're going to do chevrons. So choose your next container where you're going to do the chevrons. I feel called to do mine in the thumb. Get my music back. Okay, so this one we start with parallel lines, ideally such that we have an even number of new containers. Okay, and then you're going to decide where you want your slanted lines to start, in what direction. Doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. This is a very easy one. So slanting your lines in one direction in the first container, and then in the container next to it, you're going to slant them in the opposite direction. Take a deep breath. And then back to the original in the next container. Okay, that was a quick and easy one for me, depending on how big your container is. Nice and easy. Okay, carrying on to the next one. If you're good to go, give me a thumbs up or a yes in the comments. Thank you. I'll take those hearts. Okay, let's go. Next design. $15. And column B. 15B. So that is B15. Okay, we've got some planty McPlant face. So these are leaf shapes, and we're doing 3 iterations of it, from small to large or large to small. We color in the inside one, and then we have some little tendrils coming out. So we're clumping a bunch of leaves together. Okay. That's the one we're doing. Choose your space. I'll do this one here. So you can decide where you want to start. Color in the small inner one. You can either decide to color the inner leaf straight away or leave it until you've finished all of the leaves. And again, you can decide whether your boundary cuts off your leaf or whether your leaf squashes up against the boundary of your container. Completely up to you. You can have your leaves different shapes, different sizes. And you can make your bunches as full or as minimal as you like. can have your tendrils coming out. Decide however many you want. Take a deep breath. Suck around your body. Think about where you're holding tension. Release that tension. Invite the sensation of peace. kind of notice if you're feeling any fluidity in your drawing, in your movements. Do you feel like it's almost coming easier compared to when you started? Like your hand is warmed up, your brain has relaxed, your body is loosening. Are you noticing that looseness, that fluidity? And if not, invite it. Invite it to come in and play. That fluidity is a signal that you are present, you are immersing yourself. Okay. Ooh, I like that design. Let me know how you're doing. And if you're ready for the next design, 3 more to go. Okay, I'm going to go for the next one. A and A6. Have we had that one? A6. No, we haven't. Okay. Another simple one. This one here. Kind of like a road map, road network. And I'll show you how we start that one. So within your container, wherever your next container is, just draw some lines. They can be straight, they can be skew. Oops, and let them go over, crisscross over each other. They can be long, they can be short. The more you have, the more intricate your road map will be. So decide what feels good for you. And then within each of these containers, you're now going to draw, in Zentangle terms, an aura. So you're going to essentially do an inner outline, if that makes sense. So creating a shape out of the shape that you created. Tracing the contours of the container. that's a fairly easy one. Simple and effective. Kind of creates like a meshy vibe. Let me know if you are good to continue. See, I'm a little off center here. Liking how it's coming out. Okay, I'm going to go for the next design. If you're not yet finished with this design, the invitation stands for you to complete it. Always with the music. C. 10C. So 10C, another simple one. So similar concept, excuse me, in that you're going to draw some parallel lines. They can be straight, they can be curvy, completely up to you. And alternating solid lines and dot, dash, dot, or dash, long line, dash, however you want to interpret that. Okay, so parallel lines. Okay, I manage 4 in my space. And then you're going to start with segmenting them. I think I'll start with the So for the section with just the lines, they are closer together. If you're doing the one with the dashes and the dots, your lines are further apart. Okay, so that's one way, and then further apart. Okay, and then we go dash, line, dash, dash, line, dash. narrow, then you might find that it just becomes a bunch of dashes because there's not enough space. Remembering always to breathe, relaxing. Noticing what's coming up. Okay. That is the penultimate section. Are you good to carry on with the final design? Bring our little drawing to completion. For now, at least. And if you're not finished with any of your designs, at least you have a base so that you know what design you were working on and you can continue that. And let's go. Final design. B. B7. B7. So B7. Aha, our little almond shapes. So we start with the central almond. We're going to put them in different positions. We add a little highlight as if light is shining on them, and then we're going to aura the almonds. So yeah, decide where you want your almonds to be. I think I'll make the first one like a fingernail. Or you might see them as drops, water droplets. Yeah. Okay, let's give them their little highlight. Just a little shape, like a little bean shape on them. or like a curvy raindrop. And then we're going to start to aura them. So outlining their shape. And you can just decide how many you want to go per drop, and then where they bump up against each other. So that it looks as if one is on top of the other. And then when you get to a part where there isn't a shape per se, you can just kind of ripple the shape that you were busy with, you know, to fill the negative space. And then just go and fill in the negative space between drops, following the lines. Okay, and that is that. I have completed mine, and I love how that turned out. Oh, and look at that timing. Gosh, could that be any more perfect? How is yours going? If you haven't yet finished your containers, by all means, make some time to sit and doodle and complete it. If you feel called to color in, absolutely go ahead and color in. If you feel called to do some shading, maybe you want to grab a pencil And you might want to shade along the outside here, kind of like that. Can you see? To emphasize the squishiness of that background. So you can get shading with your pencils. If you felt called to do that after the fact. But I'd like to hear from you. What did you notice during this session? What came up for you? Did your inner critic show up? Did peace show up? Did you have to keep relaxing your mind, your body, your hand, your posture? And if you think about your state of mind and being when you first started the session, how does it compare now? What do you feel? Better, worse, the same? Maybe you had an aha moment or two. You remembered something. My hope is that at the very least, this was a little pocket of peace for you away from adulting, and to remind you that this kind of activity is productive. You are helping your brain with its diffuse thinking. It is problem solving in the background. What you're doing is essentially just blocking out the noise so that it can think. Because when you keep throwing more at it, it can't find the opportunity to, can't find the space to process. So well done you for doing this for you. Florgy, I relaxed more and got more connected with the drawing. Fantastic. Love that. Kathy, hi Kathy. What app am I using? I'm using Procreate on the iPad, but you can use any app that you like. If you have an iPad, Freeform comes inherent with iPads, but there's lots of different, Sketchbook, GoodNotes, Notability, I think it's called, all great drawing apps. Otherwise, just plain old pen and paper. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are. I hope that this served you. I hope this helped you relax, if nothing else. And I will be doing another live session next week, Friday. I normally do these sessions on a Friday, but I forgot that. I'm going away tomorrow. So hence it being on a Thursday, but otherwise same time next week Friday. I will put up the event so that you can get it into your calendar. And if you would like to share your final drawing, you can do so by sending me a DM, and I'll drop you a link for the Substack thread where we can share our images. And also if you want to get your hands on this on the reference sheet with all the different doodles to help you with your own doodle practice in your own time. If you would like to get this, let me just show you. If you would like to get this reference sheet, you can get that over in Substack as well. And I just find this as a great, starting point. It's a great source of inspiration, and it helps you with your consistency with doodling. And hopefully this morning you have felt the benefits of doodling. So thank you so much for your time, your attention, your intention, and yeah, let's think of one thing that we're grateful for and one thing that relates to our vision. What is it that you want to manifest, and hold that vision in your mind and send out some gratitude as if that vision already exists in reality. Okay, everybody, thank you so much, and I will see you again next week. Bye.